Mark, welcome to Edgbaston and Warwickshire County Cricket Club. You're the new chairman. Can you just give us your thoughts on how excited you are about having this new role?
Yeah, very excited. Obviously, it's a privilege, first of all, but it's also a big responsibility, and I'm conscious of both of those things. So on one side, it's great, and as a young boy growing up in this area, to think of the one day I might be sitting in the chair, guiding the club through the next phase of its development is, at times unbelievable. But looking forward to that massively now I've started, and also, a big responsibility, obviously, to make sure that this club continues to develop and grow as it has done over the last period of time.
And you've been a part of that growth, haven't you? Because you've been part of the board, so you've kind of had a pathway all the way from being a supporter into this position.
Yeah, exactly right. So I joined the board back in 2016, so 3.5-4 years ago, and have seen through the last few years under Norman's guidance, and yeah, it's been a good period. Obviously, the stadium has developed, the business has grown. We're coming off the back last year of record results, so we've got a really solid platform, great team off the pitch, developing team, young team coming through on the pitch, which we're all very excited about. Some new leadership in there as well, so lots of component parts, and frankly just itching to get the season started.
And you're coming from a sporting background as well, so you must be well aware of what the club and obviously Edgbaston faces in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rapidly changing landscape, but at the end of the day, the thing that binds it all together, which I'm particularly passionate about, is high performance. So high performance on the pitch, high performance off the pitch. How do we develop a culture which encourages that, which demands high standards, which we've done in the past, but also is very supportive, and make sure that we're putting in place the pieces that allow that culture to continue to develop. That's been part of the success of Warwickshire and the Bears in the past, but how do we try and take it up another few notches to make sure that success can grow into the future as well? I think we've got the component parts of that. We now need to try and build that through the new strategy into a really successful upcoming period for the club, and I'm looking forward to trying to help us steer through that period.
And without putting you under too much pressure, then you must have some ideas, hopefully, in the next 3, 4, 5 years, how you're going to implement all that.
Yeah, exactly. So the board's been working on a new strategy for the last few months, really, alongside the management team and the whole business. So that's really coming to conclusion now. We're just doing the fine-tuning on that. That will be launched fairly shortly. So we know what the key building blocks within that are. And I think a real concentration then on performance. Again, on and off the pitch. I'm not just talking about one or the other, but both together. And if we focus on our individual and collective performance, then almost the rest will take care of itself. The results will come, the improvements will come, the growth will come, the development of this fantastic Edgbaston Stadium will come. But if we concentrate on that individual and collective performance and providing that supporting culture for everyone in the business, then we'll get that kind of high performance environment that will lead to even more success in the future.
You'll be a new face to the members. We've announced that Neil Snowball will be moving on. He's joined the ECB. There's a new captain out on the field as well, but in terms of yourself, it almost will kind of be business as usual.
Yeah, I mean it will, and Neil's obviously, we're disappointed to see Neil go, but he's going to a great role and it's still within the sport, and we'll still be working with him. And most importantly of all, it's not going to happen until later into the year. We're going to have a good, clear path through now to running a process to identify a new CEO, etc., to look at all the options on that front, and Neil has made a personal commitment, and the ECB has made a commitment to us as a club that we'll handle that very carefully and do it properly. But also change brings opportunities. So as you say, with Will Rhodes taking over the captaincy, myself coming in as the chair, some of the other faces around the business, Paul Farbrace and so forth, are not that old into the job, as it were. So there is a new team coming together, there's a new strategy coming together, and I think that's exciting. And there's one thing that sport always does: it brings new challenges, but it brings new opportunities. And I think as a club, we're very well placed to embrace that, build off the platform that people like Norman Gascoigne and Neil himself have put in place, and try and take it on to another level.
I was going to ask you, what's your thoughts on Norman stepping aside? Because he's been an excellent chairman over these past few years.
Yeah, he's great, and look, he's been fantastic with I think all of us on the board and around the club, and I hope we'll get more opportunities to pay tribute to everything he's achieved during that period. He's guided the club through some difficult phases over that time. He's put in place a new governance structure over the last couple of years or so, that really again puts us in a very good position to build from. So I think the club has an awful lot to be thankful to Norman and Carolyn for in steering through this period, and I hope that I can do justice to filling his considerable shoes over the next few years. But personally he's been a great support to me over that period, and I certainly will be continuing to draw on his experience and knowledge as we face the challenges over the next few years.
Yeah, my next question was about those challenges. Is there something you want to say to the members, or a message to the members about the time that you're going to take forward?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, we are all part of one club. So I think I'm looking forward to meeting more of the members. I've got a lot to learn from them. I want to speak to as many of them as I can and really get a feel for that. I know there will be some things that people will agree with or don't agree with in the sport of cricket, in the way that the club is and things that happen. But I think at the end of the day, everybody around this club has the interests of Warwickshire cricket and the Bears at heart. And so I think building from that, we need to work together and make sure that we can create the success that I think we all want and the enjoyment we all want. And I think one of the things that guides me through the next period is, I think if we do that in the right way, we have the opportunity to do something really quite special together as a business, as a team, as a sport. We've got so many opportunities there, and I think we've got to try and make sure, even when we sometimes don't agree on things, whether that's at the board level, among the membership base, amongst the staff, in the team, that we recognise that we have those discussions and then we'll move forward collectively together. And I'm hoping to reinforce that environment that Norman's created and make sure that we can use that to our advantage to make sure that we put everyone else on the county scene to shame and put Warwickshire and the Bears right at the top of that tree.